Hello everybody, this is Prosper here, and today I wanted to make a video talking about one of my favorite classes right now to run in Warzone Rebirth. Basically our Resurgence is the game mode. I always call it Rebirth though because the map name matches it more, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, here's my setup. I just run Overkill, Cold-Blooded, Amped. You can run whatever grenades you want. I prefer Throwing Knife. On my car, it's basically the same setup on every class. Monolithic Suppressor, the longest barrel, Tac Laser, Variable Zoom Scope in the Precision Comb stock. I highly recommend running the Variable Zoom Scope in the Precision Comb stock. A lot of people don't run those attachments, but in my opinion, the Variable Zoom makes it way easier to get headshots at a longer distance, and the Precision Comb stock makes your aim so much steadier, which helps a ton with headshots. And to be honest, that's where this gun shines. If you were not good at getting headshots with a sniper, then you probably will not care for the car, but I am, so that's my setup and I recommend it. Like I said, if you're good at getting headshots, you will love this setup on the car. Probably the best sniper in the game still, in my opinion, by far. But basically, I always choose sniper because in Resurgence, you guys have played it before, you know there's always that situation where you're running across the map to go somewhere and you get shot off a rooftop. So that's what that gun's there for, so you can handle those people. Here's my setup on the PPSH. I have the Monolithic Suppressor, Reinforced Heavy Barrel, Raider Stock, 71 round drum mag, and the Spetsnaz Speed Grip. I prefer that barrel over the Task Force just because the Task Force does deal a little bit more damage, but this one I find that it almost has no recoil. It's super easy to control, and that helps me get a lot more headshots, which in Warzone, if you don't know, everything comes down to headshots. You know, besides if you have a PC or not, like headshots are going to make the biggest difference in how well you play this game. So that's why I always go for more accuracy, a balance between mobility, accuracy, and damage, and that's what I did with this setup today. But soon I will be recording live commentary gameplays, but I still want to get a couple pieces of equipment so I can record with my party that I'm playing with. If I'm playing with friends, a lot of the times I play with randoms. I think on this one I was playing with one of my friends. But anyways, through this gameplay, I'm going to kind of explain how I prefer to use this class and just give you some general tips about Resurgence and how to do better in it. Because if you're coming from regular Warzone and you drop into Resurgence, you're not going to like it. You're going to be like, this is stupid, all I do is die. And it's because it's a whole different strategy than regular Warzone. And I like it because of that. The best way is to find one spot you're really comfortable with. Intense is one of my favorites to land at. So find a spot or two. I usually try to have 2 or 3 where you're really comfortable landing there. You know where all the boxes are, you know how to run that area, where the nearest buy station is, and that's what I usually do even if I don't have friends I'm playing with. And as you see here, all of us land close together. That's a key too. I know it's hard if you don't have teammates, but if you can get everybody to land right around you, even if they're randoms, it'll make such a big difference in your gameplay. And you can see here I pick up the PPSH off the ground. The purple one off the ground is one of my favorite ground guns to pick up. That thing in buildings destroys. At a distance like medium range, it's usable, but once you get to long range, it's not that great. But basically, as you can see here, we kind of push over, try to get control of the area around the buy station before we just run out there and get shot up, because that's one big mistake a lot of players make, is before they get their loadouts, all they want to do is just go straight to it. They don't want to clear the area around the buy station, and that's where you'll make a big mistake almost every game. If you do not clear the area, you're almost guaranteed to die. There's always somebody watching it, and that's one big tip. I find a lot of average players that I play with who they don't really realize that. They just kind of run around, and that's why they don't get a lot of wins. I mean, if you just follow these basic tips I'm giving you, you'd be surprised. It will make a big difference in your gameplay, how many kills you get, how many wins you get. But yeah, recently with this class, I've been really enjoying it because even at a medium range gunfight, the PPSH setup that I have can still hit shots and even beat a lot of assault rifles if you are accurate with it. And like I said, I built this setup to be as accurate as possible while maintaining that damage range. So I highly recommend you check it out. And as you can see here, I always check, once I get our loadouts, I always check our back. I mean, minimap is one thing you gotta get used to. You always gotta check it like every 10 seconds as long as you aren't in the middle of a gunfight. Even then, you can check it if you get good about it. But as you saw, I see him down here, and all I'm trying to do is pick him off with the car. And you can see I'm using that variable zoom scope. It makes it a lot easier to hit headshots. And you'll see me flip back and forth from the higher zoom to the lower zoom. It just depends on how the player's running. Like if somebody's running faster and jumping a lot, I'll usually zoom out more, and if they're sitting more still, I'll zoom in more. That's just my strategy with the variable zoom scope, and that's the reason why I run it, because like these distances right here, when you're sniping from living quarters down to security, it does make a big difference to have a variable zoom scope, because I mean just the regular zoom sometimes doesn't cut it at those distances. As you can see, I'm not the best shot at long range with my sniper skill. I'm not going to say I'm like a phase or anything, because I'm not, but I mean at medium range to shorter long range, not completely across the map, but shorter long range, I can definitely hit shots. It's just like, see right there, you just got to line them up right. You got to time when you hold your breath right, and if you do it and learn how to predict players' movements at a distance, it does take time to get used to, but once you learn how to do that, the car is such an easy gun to get extra kills each game and extra XP, because it's so easy just to look across the map like I did there on Control, I believe it is, and just sniped him. Easy one kill right there. Didn't even have to do anything, just turned, looked, one shot, done. And that's what I love about the car. That one hit headshot is amazing. I mean, of course, if they have teammates up, it won't one hit knock them, but I mean, it will one hit knock them, but it won't finish them unless all their other teammates are already dead or out of the game. So that is one thing to take into consideration. If you do knock people and get that one hit headshot down, you will have to follow up with another headshot to get a 2-hit finish. And that's one thing a lot of people do struggle at. Like my friends who use this class, when I try to get them to use it, a lot of them aren't that great with it, just because they aren't good about getting that follow-up shot on target right away, which is a key thing, especially if players are out in the open. Sometimes you can't, but I mean, you know, if you can't, hopefully you have an airstrike in pocket or you're close enough to push. But as you can see here, always check your corners. With this class, this PPSH shines, in my opinion, in buildings, but the way you want to play is, you can see I'm always mounting, so I have a better, less, you know, of my body sticking out, and I always try to get head glitches, always try to get cover. I mean, that's basic knowledge, but again, a lot of people, when they're in the middle of playing Call of Duty, they don't realize that they're making all these little mistakes, to where, like, you know, an average player, instead of sitting up here like I am, they would have probably ran around and attacked that guy. The reason I didn't do it, because I know he has teammates around, and if I would have just ran around and attacked him, I could have easily gotten shot from either a guy coming down from the roof on the stairs, or a guy through that doorway I was just looking through, or from behind. I left myself exposed from behind, but I also pay attention to my radar where my teammates are, because, you know, I kind of pay attention. If I see them getting a gunfight, obviously I'm going to know to watch my back. But that's the best strategy with this gun, is you want to hold positions. And, you know, people will say, oh, you're camping and stuff, but the way Rebirth works, let's be honest, half of it is very campy style of play, to where two different teams will be right next to each other holding down 2 different rooms. That's just how people play this game, so you have to adapt to it, and you gotta, you know, find a way to beat them. Sometimes if you're running like the Gallo, for example, I would push in there and destroy them, but since I'm not, I know I'm not going to be able to take a 1v4. No matter how good you are, if a team is all bunched up together, you'll never be able to take that 1v4. And by the way, that turnaround on that guy, you see what I mean by headshots. Headshots are king in this. That's why I won that gunfight, because I was able to turn and instantly get those shots on his head. And again, right here, you can see one good strategy again with this gun: aim down sight, because the ADS speed is really good on it. But if somebody starts jumping and running towards you, you saw how for half a second I stopped aiming down sights, kept firing though, and then re-aimed down sights. That's something with this setup that you can do super easily, because it has a really snappy ADS speed, so it's super easy, as you see there, to quickly aim down sights and unaim. And that's one big strategy that makes this gun a lot more deadly, is if somebody's jumping around like a bunny, unaim down to your sights. You know, take off your ADS, start hip firing, but keep holding down the trigger and then re-aim down your sight. And as you can see right here, here's why I love the car, the one-hit headshots. Even at a close range like this, you cannot beat them. Like with the PPSH, you got to think the time to kill is what wins you, not wins you, but what wins you games. And that's the main thing I've learned, and that's why, like I said, I run a car on every class, because I wouldn't have gotten those 2 downs if I would have tried to get them with the PPSH PPSH, they would have beamed me since there was 2 of them. But whenever I just would pop up for half a second, hit one in the head, knock him, and then keep peeking the other guy till I was able to knock him, it makes it so they almost have no time to shoot you, and all you got to do is expose yourself for half a second and hit 1 headshot, and you beat that guy in the gunfight. And that's where I say this car is overpowered. It is probably the #1 gun I would recommend, and even if you aren't good with it at first, play a couple days, like 2 or 3 days worth of games with it, and you will thank me. You will be getting like 10 plus kills pretty dang easy. And again, with this gun, like, it's always, this isn't going to be a gun where you want to get up in their face, because it does have good ADS speed, but the time to kill isn't the greatest. It's kind of right in between, and that's where you see me. I'm playing aggressive, but at the same time I'm picking my fights. I know I'm paying attention to radar. Like that guy that I just got, I was watching radar and I knew he was coming on that side of the building to get me, and I wasn't gonna jump down and give him full body shots. I could have, you know, that's what a lot of players would have done, is jump down right there. But what I chose to do was keep my coverage so he only can shoot me in the head and upper chest, whereas I got a full sight line on him to where I can shoot him anywhere, head, body, all that. And there we go. That's, I can't see because my little playback screen's too small, but that might have been one of my friends quitting. It happens a lot. Like, I have a lot of people on my friends list. By the way, if you want to add me, my username is Prosper on Call of Duty, and my Xbox Live gamer tag is Real Prosper, REALPROSPER. Add me on there. I'm always looking for new people to run Warzone with. I play like 4 or 5 days a week usually for a couple hours a day. So if you're ever down to run, just add me on Xbox Live or on my Activision account. But basically, now you see what I did is I paid attention to radar. I saw these 2 teams were fighting, so obviously it's no brainer. Go up behind them with the car, get some easy headshots while they're focused on the other team in front of them. They don't realize you're coming up behind them. And I will do these riskier pushes to where I will kind of break away from my team, as you see, but they usually do a pretty good job once they see me getting a kill or 2 of making their way to me pretty quick. So that's one thing, is like, I will admit, this gun, if you're trying to be a one-man team, this probably isn't the best setup, but if you have 1 or 2 people to play with, you will get a lot of kills with this setup. But like I said, you gotta pick and choose your fights right for the setup that you have. Like if I had an MP5, I would be a lot more aggressive than I am with this gun. This gun is more of a tactical, up-close gun, to where you pick and choose your fights very wisely. And I mean, as you can see here, I've been putting in work with the PPSH, but a good majority of my kills are with the car. And this is why, I can't stop ranting and raving about the car. I hear so many people say, oh, the Swiss is so much better. But I just don't understand how people think that. Because for me, the headshot registration on the Swiss, it just isn't as clean as the car. Like the car, you know when you got that headshot. But with the Swiss, you just can never know. And right there, you saw I wasn't paying attention to my radar. That's why I exposed myself down there. I wouldn't have done that if I was paying attention like I should have been on radar. I wouldn't have exposed myself to getting shot at down there. But as you can see here, we're in a tight position to where we got people below, people above. And again, all it is about flanking, catching people off guard. Ideally, if you want to be the best COD player in the world, the best thing you can do is literally flank people. Don't charge them head on, because especially if they have a PC or a great internet connection and you have, you know, a console and some average internet, you will lose that fight 9 times out of 10, even if you have the exact same perks and guns. And that's why you want to pick and choose your fights. Always keep some type of coverage, even if you can't, you know, get a full head glitch. Even if it just covers up your legs, that's better than having your full body exposed, because that's just less shots that they can hit on you. So with this setup though, again, I just love the sniper. The sniper's like the key thing to it, honestly. I mainly, in Rebirth now, I will get a majority of my kills with my car, and I will use whatever other gun I'm running with it as more of a when I have to use it type of gun. Just because I enjoy sniping a lot too, the action of it, the satisfaction of getting those one-hit downs. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things I love a lot on this game. And I mean, you can see I'm already at 14 kills. I don't know if we win this one or not, because I got this gameplay a while ago, and I've been wanting to do a video on this class, because this class is just too much fun to use. And once you get good with the car and you find that balance of swapping back and forth, when to push, when to take, you know, those sniper shots, you will be racking up kills and squad wipes pretty dang easy. And I don't recommend using this bow that I'm using, by the way. I'm just messing around here since I was pretty confident we were gonna win, because the bow never seems to do a kill for me. I can knock people, but I can never finish them. Like, for example, the other day I knocked a guy with that freaking bow, one hit, and I shot 4 more arrows next to him, got 4 more hit markers, never finished him, and then his teammate came up and got me. Okay, and then, for example, with circle like this, you can see where we picked our position. We are super careful about picking our position. You got to watch where the final circle is. This is where a lot of people can make it to this point in the game, but this is really where you get the win from. You got to know where to pick your position, where to, you know, where you're going to have a good head glitch, easy access to where the circle's moving to, and, you know, we're just camping in this middle area, basically, and I'm not going to say we aren't camping, because at the end of Resurgence, you will see 90% of the time, that is what the game comes down to, is people camping. Like, these people below us, you know they're camping, because if they weren't, they would have pushed us by now. But obviously this guy is camping. And I mean, what is it? It's a 2v1, so I get it. Because again, with Resurgence, this isn't like multiplayer to where you're like, why are you camping? Like, in this game mode, just like with Warzone, camping is a part of the gameplay. It's a part of the way it works. Like, you know, if you were the last guy alive, you wouldn't just be running around out in the middle trying to face a 2v1. You wouldn't. Unless you're, like, you know, a professional gamer, you won't. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to make this video just to kind of give you some tips on the way my mind works when I play, the way I use this class, and I wanted to recommend this class because I do want to get some feedback on it. If you guys do good with it, if you guys don't like it, let me know. But I do have a different play style than a lot of YouTubers have. I'm kind of more of a reserved player. I like to rack up kills, but I like to do it smart because honestly I don't have the best internet, so I found whenever I push too hard, it does not work out for me. So after I learned that the hard way, that's when I started being like, okay, I'm gonna take my time and be a little more tactical about the way I play. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll be doing new Call of Duty content every week, and add me on Xbox Live or on my Activision account if you want to play sometime. Have a great day, and bye.